Welcome, Curious Minds, to a new episode of the Curious Mind channel. Today, we are about to dive into a universe where architecture becomes a true work of art. Get ready to be amazed by the most bizarre constructions ever conceived by the human mind. From houses in the rocks of Portugal to flower-shaped temples in India, these constructions defy all expectations and push the boundaries of what's possible. It's a journey that takes us around the globe, exploring what happens when imagination meets concrete and steel. So, if you're like us, and seek to discover the extraordinary in the ordinary, you're in the right place. Let's embark on this incredible journey through the most fascinating constructions on the planet. Get ready to have your curious mind completely satisfied. Subscribe, hit the notifications, and join us on this adventure. Curious Minds presents the most bizarre constructions ever made. Le Palais Ideal. The Ideal Palace is located in Autrives, France, as you probably guessed from the characteristic name. Contrary to what you might imagine, that it was made by a grand artist or noble, it was built by a mere postman named Ferdinand Cheval. Before delivering letters, Cheval was a poor young man, who had also been a baker. However, one day, during his rounds, he stumbled upon a stone that, for some reason, inspired him with its strange shape and gave him the idea to create a monumental palace. Knowing nothing about manipulating rocks, engineering, or construction, Cheval spent 34 years collecting stones and stacking them into the beautiful construction, which initially made him the subject of ridicule from his neighbors, but today is an imposing 25-meter structure that attracts 100,000 tourists per year to the small and unattractive town where it was built. The smallest house in England. With an official title and all, this tiny 1.8 by 3.1 square meter dwelling is probably smaller than your broom closet, but it has been inhabited since the 16th century. The last tenant was a fisherman who was 1.90 meters tall, and currently, the place is a tourist attraction, charging less than £1 per entry. It was built so tightly because, before urbanization, people would build houses leaning against the city walls, often starting from opposite sides of the block, leaving strange and uncalculated spaces when they met, spaces like where this house was erected. Gate Tower Building. When cities need to change their public roads and demolish buildings, businessmen and companies are affected, but sometimes no agreement is reached, and neither the government nor the property owners want to give up, neither side. That was the case with this building in Osaka, Japan, which occupies 4 of the 16 floors of the building, clad with sound protection and minimally affected by the structure. Nakajin Capsule Tower. After World War II and until the 70s, Japan had a good economic and social development, when a cultural movement called metabolism emerged, promising to profoundly change the country's urban sector. One of the greatest representatives of this artistic trend is the building in the photo, which was built in 1972 and is made up of 140 apartment capsules, attached to 2 towers. However, much less practical than it seems, cramped, it was designed for singles, and not very private. Its windows show a large part of the inside of the capsules. The property owners discovered that adding or replacing capsules was quite expensive, and the idea soon became a failed and abandoned project. Glienicke Bridge. This bridge, located in Berlin, divided the 2 parts of the city when it was divided during the Cold War, and, as it was used for the transit of people between the 2 opposing and enemy Berlins, it was nicknamed the Bridge of Spies. After all, whoever crossed it was supposedly going to deliver information to the other side. It was also used for negotiations when these spies were caught, like the case of American pilot Francis Gary Powers and Soviet Colonel Rudolf Abel in 1962. Waldspirale. For Austrian artist Friedensreich Hundertwasser, the omnipresent symmetry in human art was boring and repetitive. Still in this logic, he said that straight lines were tools of the devil and used mismatched colors. One of his greatest creations, the Waldspirale, or Forest Spiral, had 12 floors and 105 apartments, all sharing a vegetative roof without the design of any single property being repeated. Genius or not? And thus, we conclude our incredible journey through the most astonishing constructions in the world. I hope you were as amazed as we were. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more fascinating content like this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the Curious Mind channel. Stay updated on the most incredible curiosities in the world. Follow us on social media to not miss any details. Share this video with other enthusiasts of curiosities and extraordinary architecture. Together, let's explore the unexplored. Thank you for being part of the Curious Mind community. Until the next adventure.